Shalom, I'm giving all praise to you. Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Makakodash, Shalom to the hopefully elect out there. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, like I said, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Makakodash, Shalom to the hopefully elect out there. And I'm going to entitle this video Back to the Basics, Daniel chapter 7. Anyway, before I go into it, and I may go into some other topics or breakdowns, we'll see where the Spirit takes me, but I want to focus on Daniel chapter 7. If you know the breakdown, and it's very simple to break it down. Some of you don't know it. Some of you might know certain precepts of that particular passage, but not know how to link the whole thing together. Sometimes you got to go in the whole chapters, and I'm known for that. Anyway, I want to open up with this, and I said in the previous videos that anytime we make a video dealing with the MOTB, Revelation 13, 16, and 17, really you can start from 15, 16, 17, and 18. Anytime we speak on it, the IUIC leadership, mainly General Netanyahu in the Lashon Kodash. We went back to the Lashon Kodash. He'll make sort of a counter. He'll kind of mention that Revelation 13, 16 verse is not talking about a chip. He'll mention the word chip, and I'm going to prove it. By the way, before I show it, this is fair use. And if I remember, I'll put the fair use in the description. So this is, he's making a statement. I'm merely saying that the statement that he's making is wrong. He even goes off on this right here, which is the image of the beast, and there's a list there. There's a list. Let me see if I can find the list. So we're right here at is it 235? Okay, so let's go back to here, which is, let me come back a little bit more. Okay, let's start right here. So listen up.
Now the new thing to keep us voting, we're thinking about giving you niggas reparations. If you vote for the Democrats, and black people once again is stuck in it, going out telling everybody to vote because we're going to get. So now read that again. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy. Full of names of blasphemy. Having 7 heads and 10 horns. Having 7 heads and 10. Hey, do y'all have the one with the names of the beast? You know what I'm talking about? I know there's new people watching. So you got the 7 heads.
Okay, so they put a sign up, as you can see here. 7 heads, 10 horns. And now you got, this is pretty much correct. I'll go with this. This is the modern 10 horns, which now there are like 30 nations that are part of the original 10 horns, but they're originally 10 horns. When you go to the EU, which is the EU, some of the EU nations are also NATO nations. Let me see, like Italy is a NATO nation. Germany is a NATO nation. So you can go to the list. You can go to the EU nations, or original EU nations, and the NATO nations, and see how they interchange, which, between the EU and NATO, which is part of the same beast. like I'll give you another example. Turkey is a member of NATO, but not a member of the EU. Italy is a member of the EU, and they are also a member of NATO. If I'm not mistaken, I got to go back to that list. But they're interchangeable. Some are in both organizations. America and Canada are members of the NATO, but not members of the EU because they're not European nations. They're Western. They're on the west, uttermost west. So he shows here the 7 heads: Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, not Russia. Russia wasn't even spoken about until like mid 800, the mid 800s AD. Don't take my word for it. Have the mindset of the Church of Berea, the Bereans, and go double check what I just said. And I did videos on it. You can either check my videos where I actually pull up the information, or you can check it for yourself. Go into the history of Russia, and the first mentioning of Russia, the current Russia, is spoken about during the year of 800, about 860, 865 AD. AD. That's why you got to filter that history through the Bible. You know, when you go to the prophecies, as we say, if you don't know the history, you don't know the mystery. Then it got Great Britain. So he's right. 8th head, America. So he's right on all of them except for Russia. Russia's not a part of it because Russia's going to be the thing that's going to take this place down. And then the rest of these nations, EU nations and NATO nations, currently will also shoot bombs, missiles, ICBMs on America. All right, that's Revelation 17. I believe you can start around about the 12th verse. So he goes off on this. So I have to say that. All right. Rather be overtaken by a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. And I'm doing it in meek. I'm not yelling. I'm doing it in a meek voice.
Greece, Rome, Spain, France, Germany, Great Britain. Eighth is America.
Also, Great Britain was formerly a part of the EU and NATO. A couple of years back, let me see, what is it, 2018? But they've been talking about it for a number of years. And I believe it was 2018, maybe. You can go back into the history, double check me. Somebody, matter of fact, get the information, put it on the side there. The comment section, and let me know the exact year. And they called it, leading up to it, when Great Britain broke off from the EU, they called it Brexit. Brexit meaning Brexit meaning Britain, Zik meaning exiting. Britain exiting. It's short. Brexit means Britain exiting. Exiting what? The EU. But the Great Britain is still a member of NATO. So let me see if I can find it. Okay, so it says United Kingdom, which currently they broke off from EU, the EU. So really, when you go back to the flag, the EU flag is a blue field with 12 stars in a circle. Matter of fact, we used to pass the consulate all the time. And so now they would have to change that flag up. They would have to take one of those stars out. So there would be 11 principal. Really, still goes back to 10. Because where's Spain at? Where's Spain? I thought Spain was a part of this. I think Spain was originally part of the original 10. I don't see Spain up there. Somebody help me out. give me the information. I'm not going to go to it right now, but Portugal was a part of Spain. So Portugal and Spain are one and the same. That makes one of the horns, of the 10 horns. And you had Scotland, Ireland. Ireland is a part of the United Kingdom. That's why it's called the United Kingdom. So they're kind of right on this, but you got to qualify. You got to explain that the UK is no longer a part of it. But Russia, they definitely off on Russia. Russia wasn't even spoken about until, like I said, 860, 865 AD, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord. So let's watch and listen some more. Another thing he goes off on is when he says the first black or Israelite Caesar or Emperor of Rome was Septimius Severus in 193 AD. Jake was ruling Rome since 96 AD. The last ruler or emperor of Rome was the younger brother and son of Vespasian and younger brother of Titus. I said that previously. Don't trust me. Don't go by what I said. Well, Tahar said it. No, check it for yourself. So if somebody says, where'd you get the information? Well, Apostle Tahar said it. No, you don't go by necessarily Apostle Tahar. You go by the facts. You bring out the facts. Well, can we go to Google real quick? Because it's worth a Google. All right? You cannot understand the mysteries unless you have to know the history in order for you to understand the mystery, which is the prophecies. So let's go on.
The 10 horns, Belgium, Luxembourg, Greece, France, Denmark. So now, Psalm 1 again, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. Now put the woman back. Full of names of. So this woman represents America. That's why we have the woman holding the American flag.
He's right on that.
Names of blasphemy. Full of names of blasphemy. All kind of. Jesus is white. God is white. Christmas.
Well, saying Jesus and the Christ is blasphemy itself because we know the name. The prophets should know the name. We have an unction from the Holy One, and we know all things. The word unction means we have an anointed. We were chosen, and we know all things. Not should know all things or most things, but all things. The reason why we say Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, is because we know that the name of the Most High is Yahweh and his son's name is Yahweh Shai.
New Year's Eve, so-called, like the white people in Israel are the Jews. These are all blasphemous things. Homosexuality is good and upright. These are all blasphemous.
Right. Good point. The cup, what is in the cup is an abominable thing, which is different from the mark in Revelation 13, 15, 16, 17, and 18. The mark has nothing to do with immorality. It's just a mark. It's just if somebody gets a heart transplant, you take a heart and put it in a robotic heart or whatever, put it in you. It's not necessarily an immoral thing. Now the scriptures say do not put any cuttings in your flesh, but it's a technical thing. If somebody has to do an operation on you, a glass gets stuck in you and they have to cut further to pull the glass out, that's a technical thing. So the same thing with the mark, which is an actual, now it's a grain of rice. It could be different shapes. It can make it even smaller, but that's what it is. That's what we've been saying. It is, and it's always going to be what we call the microchip, what we call the MOTB. The microchip is an actual device that's going to go into your right hand on your forehead. If you're living in Europe, it's going to go into your left hand or in your forehead. That's what Neuralinks is all about. This is why we keep keep going through it over and over again. So when it actually comes to pass, and it will come to pass, then you will know that there has been prophets among you, because we said it right. They're going to say, oh shit, GMS was right. Oh shit, GMS was right. And there's going to be a major shakeup. That's the major prophecy that we're waiting for. And then when that happens, everything's going to be lightning fast. Go lightning fast.
There's so much more that you can cover. We're now teaching this great whole right? Having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand. Having a golden cup in her. Remember, it said you'd have a mark in your hand.
Mark and cup are two different things. It says mark, which is charagma. Cup is a cup. And in that cup was what? Give you another example. I said it in previous videos. Kamala Harris went over there to Uganda for the sole purpose of telling the Ugandan government, and they laughed at her. They pretty much said, get the fuck out of here, bitch, and not too many words. She said, well, you got to have human rights, meaning if somebody wants to be a happy person, you can't lock them up. You can't give them a ticket. Now in Uganda, the penalty for being a happy person is death. You are put, it's a death penalty. So keep your eyes on Uganda. Well, they did say after the fact that they're going to bring sanctions against Uganda, meaning another way of saying it is an embargo. Sanctions, embargo is the same thing. We're not going to send you any resources to you. You're not going to be able to buy from us, okay? Which has nothing to do with the mark. The mark is a technical, scientific thing. It's not an immoral thing to get a mark on you, but it's an immoral thing to get it in the eyes of the Most High. The charagma is not sin. Charagma is a sin, meaning because you're missing the mark. You read what the Most High said, or the prophets told you what to do and what not to do, and you go against what the prophet says, which are the mouthpieces of the Most High, then that is sin because you're missing the mark.
Let's see what's in that cup that's in her hand, right? Full of abominations. This is what you support. Abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
That, in other words, the Ugandan thing, that's part of fornication. Now, Uganda, they're going to ultimately accept the charagma, but they're not going to accept the cup, the stuff that's in the cup, which is abominable. So these are two different things. The cup in her hand and the right hand, the charagma, are two different things.
That's what it means it's in your hand, right? And upon her forehead, I was talking about the forehead of America. What's in her mind, right? Was a name written, mystery, Babylon the Great. We know Babylon the Great today is the United States. This and their system. You love this place. You support this place. You want to stay here forever. That's what it means. Babylon the Great, right? The mother of harlots. The mother of harlots. They have all their churches and businesses, right? And abominations of the earth. This place is the abominations of the earth.
The mother of harlots. That's why Kamala Harris went there in the name of the U.S., which is the woman, because the mother of harlots, which is mother of harlots, is also a mistress or a master, a female master. Like if you go to a brothel, you'll have the mistress. She's the head hoe. So basically, all these nations that went to bed with her, that is part of Hua house. The house is America. These nations are the hoes that work for America. So they gotta follow the rules. So you got one of the hoes that don't want to follow the rules. Just nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm talking about Uganda. Now when they say, but you got to take the charagma, your people got to take it. They'll say, no, we'll take that, no problem, because that's not immoral in our eyes. Y'all beginning to wake up, especially you window shoppers. Keep window shopping.
That's what's going on. So in the forehead and in the hands, same thing. That's what I need y'all to see. It's not a computer chip. That Bible's not talking about that. Whether they try to make one or not, that's not what it's talking about. This is a system of one word, brothers. That's not what it's talking about. I'm not talking about that. Whether they try to make not a computer chip and then the hands, same thing. That's what I need y'all to see. It's not a computer chip. That Bible's not talking about that. Whether they try to make one or not, that's not what it's not thing. That's what's up. So that's what's in the forehead. So in the forehead and in the hands, the same thing. That's what I need y'all to see. It's not a computer chip. That Bible's not talking about that. Whether they try to make one or not, that's not what it's Bible's not talking about that. So that's what's in the forehead. So in the forehead and in the hands, the same thing. That's what I need y'all to see. It's not a computer chip. That Bible's not talking about that. Whether they try to make one or not, that's not what it's talking about. This is a system of one word, brothers. Sin in your hand, in your head. That's
So I played it, what, 3 times, 4 times? So, it's going to come up again. So you're going to have the answer, This is called indoctrination. When you indoctrinate somebody with something, you tell them things. Like in school as children, we were taught that Christopher Columbus was a good man. I thought Christopher Columbus was a good man when I was a kid. That's indoctrination. That's why in this country, you still celebrate Christopher Columbus Day, and there's no problem with that. And at one point, they was talking about tearing down, they ain't tore down all the statues of Christopher Columbus. They tore down a couple of statues of the flag, the what do you call that? What do you call that flag down south? Damn, I can't even think of it. The flag, the southern states, they had a flag. Somebody help me out. But anyway, Christopher Columbus is they still going to celebrate Christopher Columbus Day. You're going to have the day off. That's when you want to buy a new mattress. Best time to buy it is Christopher Columbus Day, President's Day. You want to buy a new car, the best time to buy a new car is Christopher Columbus Day, President's Day. They have sales, Christmas, holidays, whatever. Summer sale, fall sale. One of the sales that they sell cars and beds is on those days, and one of the days is Christopher Columbus Day. All right, so anyway, that's indoctrination. They'll tell you that civilization started with the Greeks. What do you mean? That they're basically telling you in their schools that the dark nations, they were not civilized. They were a bunch of pretty much wild animals. So that's indoctrination. And that's why we come so hard against this place, because it indoctrinated us with that bullshit. Oh, when we were all children, all your parents had some parents, not my house, but some parents, they would have John F. Kennedy. They would have Caesar Borgia, John F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King would be in the back. The first picture, and I remember that that wasn't in my house when I grew up, because my parents were kind of like rebellious against the system. They were like, nah, I ain't with this system. But if I went to other friends' house that were Jake kids, go in the living room, it'll be a picture of Caesar Borgia. The second picture would be John F. Kennedy, and the third picture would be MLK. All right, JC, JFK, and MLK, and that wasn't okay. You go to a lot of, any Ephraimite or Puerto Rican, one of the Latin tribes, you go to their houses, their mama in there cooking rice and shit. You go up in there, you're gonna see a goddamn shrine. Any house that I've been in that were of the Latin tribes, the Northern Kingdom, they had the Lazarus, they had the Caesar Borgia, Then they would have about 5 or 6 Caesar Borgias all throughout their house. They have a big picture of Caesar Borgia in the bedroom. So that was all indoctrination. So what General Nathaniel and the Nathaniel, the Paleo Hebrew, he's indoctrinating. That's why he keeps saying it. He said how many times every week he got to go in, he got to it's sin. Why does he got to keep doing it? Because we keep doing it. We keep putting up videos on it, so he has to keep re-indoctrinating them to make sure they got it. That's called indoctrination, which means you are a cult. That makes you a cult. And a cult is not necessarily you can have a worship, you can worship the wrong thing, you can worship the right thing. The word cult all goes back to worship, culture, worship.
Let's talk. Right there, that's it right there. Now, the question will be, brothers, ask you, well, when will the mark of the beast be ended? Well, sin's already here. Sin has been.
Okay, so that's showing you that they're window shopping. Yeah, they're window shopping. Let's bring that back. So everybody's coming up with when is it going to implement? When is the mark going to be implemented? Because they're thinking chip. Because they listen to General Antonio, but then they'll sneak and they got to click. They see a GMS video, more on the MOTB, GMS, MOTB. Let me click on it. They don't want to watch it, but they watch it anyway. Then they get a little nervous. Then they get the courage up to pull the General Nathaniel to the side and ask him. That's why he keeps making these videos. So we're going to keep making these videos until it's actually introduced to the world, and then everybody's gonna go, oh shit, GMS was right. So let's bring that back.
What you support? Abominations and filthiness of her fornication. You support it. That's what it means. It's in your hand, right? And upon her forehead, I was talking about the forehead of America. What's in her mind, right? Was a name written, mystery, Babylon the Great. We know Babylon the Great today is the United States. This and their system. You love this place. You support this place. You want to stay here forever. That's what it means. Babylon the Great, right? The mother of harlots. The mother of harlots. They have all their churches and businesses everywhere, right? And abominations of the earth. This place is the abominations of the earth. So that's what's in it. So in the forehead and in the hand is the same thing. That's what I need you to see. It's not a computer chip. That Bible's not talking about that. Whether they try to make one or not, that's not what it's talking about. This is a system of one word, brothers. Sin. In your hand, in your hand. That's what it's talking about. Right there. That's it right there. Now.
So listen listen right here, 2:37:36, 2 hours, 37 minutes and 36 seconds. We're almost at the end. There's almost 4 hours, 2 minutes shy of a 4-hour video. And you're going to listen right here, 2 hours, 37 minutes and 36 seconds in. Listen to this good. This is why he's constantly making reference to this subject. Because guys are like wondering, I don't know. Let's listen. Then we're going to get ready to go into Daniel 7.
Well, when will the mark of the beast be ended? Well, sin's already here. Sin is the mark of the beast be ended. Well, look there now. The question will be, brothers, ask you, well, when will the mark of the beast be ended? Well, right there now. The question will be, brothers, ask you, well, when will the mark of the beast be ended? Well, sin's already here. Sin has been since the time of Genesis.
I'm glad he said that. I hope you caught it. If I got to bring it back, I'll bring it back. Matter of fact, I am going to bring it back. Let me bring it back.
what three brothers have asked you. Well, when will the now? The question what three brothers have asked you. Well, when will the mark of the beast be implemented? Well, sin's already here. Sin has been since the time. So your question would be, well, then, how is it the mark? Well, other than the fact that I just showed you Revelation 17.
Now you just heard him. He said it's sin, and sin been here from the beginning. To this day, I guess we all got the mark, including the dear Bishop Nathaniel on the Bishop Nathaniel. I guess he already got it. I guess his leadership got it. The rest of the congregation got it. Because how did they get to this meeting? They got to hop on the train. They got to hop on the bus. They got to hop in the Uber. They got cars that they got to drive. They got to put gas in the cars. They got to register the cars. They got to inspect the cars. You know, they got to maintain the cars, and that costs money. And after class, they might go to a supermarket or bodega and buy some things for the house. So, some of them might be in the process of renting a place or buying a house. There's a financial transaction in doing that. So he said, well, sin, which is equates it with the mark of the beast, has been here from the beginning. So I can go and buy, and so does the dear Bishop Nathaniel can go and buy. He can go and buy. So according to what he just said, let's use logic. For the first time in your life, let's use logic. Let's use logic. If it's already been here, if the MOTB is already here, if it's already been implemented, as he said, when the individuals, and I guarantee you they're men, I don't think they're women. Be surprised if they're women, because they're window shoppers. Continue to window shop, man. So that means all of us got the beast, the mark of the beast already. That means that's what it means, if it's already here.
Write this down, write this down. The question was, when will the mark of the beast be implemented? Answer, when God's commandments become unlawful.
Okay, so it's not implemented, but it's been here from the beginning. Let's listen to that again. And in a way, he's right on that. He's right on that.
Implemented. Answer, when God's commandments become unlawful. Let's say it again. When God's commandments become unlawful. You understand what I said right there? Let me give you some examples. Now, before I give you the examples, real quick, Solomon, we're going to read this quick. Here we go. Give me Revelation 13 again and read from 13. And we've gone over this many times, brothers. So if I go fast, I'm sorry. I just want to get through it. Right. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. What's that talking about, brothers? That was World War II when they dropped the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Right. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. We showed y'all last week, the movie Oppenheimer. He admitted the dropping of the atom bomb was a miracle. He said, I can perform this miracle.
And that was in the movie. There's a movie coming up called Oppenheimer. If you go to Oppenheimer, the movie, you can see the trailer. I believe one of the trailers says I performed this miracle. Now, there's no record of Oppenheimer actually saying that, but in the movie, they put extra words in the script, which is called, the director has what's called creative license. Creative license. Look that word up. Creative license. That means you can make a movie on the life of somebody. I'll give you an example. Just came to my mind. The movie X that Spike Lee made. Everybody saw that movie, right? Every Jake saw the movie. It shows you in the movie that Malcolm X learned about Islam through a brother in the prison system that led him to learning about Islam. And the reality, if you read his autobiography, it was his brothers and his sisters that led him, because they were into Islam, and they were the ones that showed him about Islam. So the fact that he was in jail and a man in jail led him to it, that never happened. That's all creative license. Let's deal with another movie, another example. The movie Gladiator, which they're getting ready to make a Gladiator 2 part 2. I don't know how they're going to, drop that on the people. But anyway, in the movie, the 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 emperor was damn, what is his name? I always forget his name. Damn. Well, his son was named Commodus, but I always forget his name. And he's a famous Stoic. If you read quotes of a Stoic, his name is going to come up. But damn, I can't even remember his name. Damn. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. Who was the emperor of Rome during 181? That's not 181. I should have said 181 AD. Let me do this. Let me do it this way. Let me go to 180 AD. AD. Bear me for a minute. Marcus Aurelius. There it goes. Marcus Aurelius. In the movie, they even mentioned the king, the older gentleman with the beard in the beginning of the movie. That was Marcus. He played Marcus Aurelius. The emperor that took his place was really his. It wasn't Commodus. It was, I believe, another son. And then Commodus came in after his older brother. And now in the movie, Commodus killed his father. That didn't happen in real life. That did not happen. His father died. He eventually became the emperor. The part of the Spaniard, whatever his name is, somebody help me out. The Spaniard, that they put that in there. That's called creative license. That was that guy never existed. They just put him in the movie. So they took that was art imitating life, but they used creative um, license. They changed it up a little bit. Okay, let's give him a wife. Let's give him a son. Them people never existed. So it was part historical and part legendary and made up. So let me come back to him. Now where are we? Bear me for a minute. I gotta find where the hell. What the hell? Okay, we found it. So now you know what the word uh, creative license means.
Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. The beast talking about those seven heads, right? Saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast.
They should make an image to the beast. Give me the image from the head, the head of Christ article. I don't have the actual image. Yeah, that's it. Y'all write this down if you want to. You can Google.
I guess they're gonna have a. That's the image of the beast, which is not the image of the beast. Is a pagan Roman system. So they're gonna have, and you go to BJ's, right? A lot of us got BJ membership, Costco, whatever. They're gonna implement a new thing. When you go to pay, make your purchase, they're gonna pull out the picture of Caesar, and they're gonna say, "Kiss the son, lest he be angry." Psalms 2, I think that's 8 verse 9 verse. Kiss the son, lest he be angry. So you're gonna kiss the son, and then you're gonna be able to purchase your stuff. That's not gonna happen. Okay, they ain't. Caesar Borgia has played the fuck out anybody, any goddamn way. Even Edomites say, "Well, we know Jesus was not white." These are Edomites that say that. Even Vocab Malone said that Jesus ain't white. Well, he'll say he ain't black and he ain't white. He said that in one of his videos. So the image is not Caesar Borgia. Ain't nobody been, the military ain't brought out no picture of Caesar Borgia. Trump with his campaigns, he's not going to bring out a picture of Caesar Borgia. This is Caesar Borgia. This is Jesus Christ. It's not talking about that.
It's called the head of Christ. You can read about it. It tells you that this image, this particular one, became famous during World War II, 1940 on up. They made many hundreds of thousands of this image and give to the people of America and the.
Yeah, but what about now? What about the Desert Storm? What about the Iraqi war? Which Desert Storm? What about when they went? I'm talking about the current wars that we have now. Who's bringing up the picture of Caesar Borgia? Okay, that's when people accepted that. That had nothing to do with the mark of the beast. Come on now.
The soldiers keep them in spots, and this image comes from Rome. Read that again, Solomon. That they.
Actually, it comes from Spain. Caesar Borgia was the second oldest boy to Rodrigo Borgia out of Spain, who became Alexander VI, which he came out of Spain. The Renaissance came out of Spain, not Rome. It came out of Spain. Christopher Columbus came out of Spain. They tried to say Christopher Columbus was an Italian. The Italians here, Christopher. No. He was of Spain. He was a Spanish Jew. Cristobal Colon.
That they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword,
which had a wound by a sword. Rome fell. Go ahead.
You said that was a picture of Caesar Borgia. And then you jumped over and said this is wrong. We're going back 2,000 years back. When did Caesar Borgia get knocked in the head? You want me to knock you in the head? Inside joke.
And did live.
Rome lived.
You just said Caesar Borgia. You just said Caesar Borgia. You showed a picture of Caesar Borgia, and all of a sudden, it went from Caesar Borgia to Rome. And Caesar Borgia did not come out of Rome. Caesar Borgia came out of Spain. And you had Italy that was a part of that too. That were part of the Renaissance. But that power surge came out of Spain, baby.
In the Renaissance, late
1400s. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about pagan Rome. We're talking about the BC area, the BC era. Edomites came in around 45 BC. Prior to that was the Etruscans, the Minoans, the Japhets.
That's when they lived. They came back in power. Read.
And he had power to give light unto the image of the beast.
Right. Everybody sees that image on TV, their media.
What are you talking about, Caesar Borgia? I watch TV, man. I watch all kind of channels. I ain't seen no picture, no Caesar Borgia. Shit. In the last, I don't know how long. I ain't seen no picture of Caesar Borgia. If you give me $1 for every time I saw the picture of Caesar Borgia within the last 20 years, I'm going to be homeless. Ain't no picture, no Caesar Borgia on the TV. That's the title right there. Ain't no pictures. They don't play that shit. They don't even play those Jesus stories no more because everybody don't walk up to it. Like I said, even Vocab Malone says Jesus is not white.
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So if you didn't worship this image, especially during the time of slavery, they put us to death for not being Christians. They slaughtered us, okay? Murdered us. That's what they did. So that's all historic, but it will come back again. Read.
He said it will come back again, like the tarantula. Richard Pryor. What album was that? That nigga's crazy. It says, if you don't bring me that goose, or turkey, you see that tarantula, you will see it again. That goes way back for you young heads. Goes over your head. Bring me either geese or turkey. If I don't get, what's his name? The polar bear with the little tiny feet. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all old heads know what I'm talking about, man. And I know y'all cracking up. But she said the witch, whatever name was, Rudolph, whatever the fuck her name was, that was a funny ass album. If you don't bring me that geese or turkey, you will see it again. So guess what? You're going to see Caesar Borgia again. So watch out for it, brothers and sisters. Every time you turn around, Caesar Borgia. Oh shit, Caesar Borgia. So let's watch for it, all right?
And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
That means to support sin, believe sin, you love sin, you have pleasure in sin. It becomes legalized, it becomes law, right?
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
What does that mean right there? That means in order to, because you may ask the question, how they gonna get me to bend the knee? How they gonna get me to conduct myself in sin? Well, verse 17, one more again.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Think about it this way. If I give you a flash, think about nations or countries. When a nation or country does not obey America, what does she do? She puts sanctions on it. Guess what? They're bringing out a system, they're going to put it on individuals. They did it with Andrew Tate. They did it with, what's the sister's name? Wendy Williams. And they did it with Kanye, what's his name? Ye, with him. They said, we can put a sanction on you. That's what they do. So now, watch this. Give me the article, Watch Your Guru. Watch Your Guru. So the market sin, buying and selling.
They put a sanction on Ye, and he's making, and fucking Adidas regrets it now. They're losing all that fuck. They lost a lot of money because of what they did to Ye, and Ye's still buying and selling and sleeping with white women.
Equals the control of digital currency. Sanctions.
Okay. BRICS, 30 countries participate to ditch the US dollar as global reserve currency. Okay.
That next article, World News. Yeah, read that, Solomon.
BRICS, 30 countries participate to ditch the US dollar as global reserve currency. June 15, 2023.
So you got read that.
A growing number of countries are coming forward to join BRICS and accept the new currency for global trade. The South African ambassador, Anil Suklau, hinted that the alliance could expand this year, becoming BRICS Plus. The move could add pressure on the US dollar as developing nations would end their reliance on the greenback. The global financial order could tilt from the west to the east, creating a new multipolar economy.
Now pause right there. So America, which she is the most powerful country. Give me that. Watch this. I'm gonna show you. Go to Ezekiel 28, where it says, "There's no secret." I want to start there, and I want you to brothers, see what it says about their mothers. Read that. I'm not looking at it, so I'm trusting you know exactly where it is. Ezekiel verse 3. I don't know. Why is it there?
Yeah. Go ahead. Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
This is talking about America, Edom, right?
With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches.
Got me riches. Now it started with the slave trade and moved on up to various things, right?
And has gotten gold and silver
It's
into
got
thy
me gold and silver. People think America's broke. Stop. Don't believe that. She's not. Good.
and has gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic.
Traffic means what, brothers? Trade, buying and selling. Good.
Hast thou increased thy riches.
Hast thou increased thy riches. Now, BRICS is about them backing their money system by backing it with gold or silver. Okay. Hey, put that next thing up on the screen. You may say, well, how does that go? If America could wipe them out if they want, wipe out that whole system, then the devil wants it. Or she could go along with it and say, you know what? Or you know what she could do? She could say, I'm gonna watch this whole thing crash and everybody suffers. Have it do, because you know they do diabolical stuff like that. Infiltrate, have it to corrode and crumble, and everybody suffers. Then come as the hero. Dun, 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 here comes America to save the day. You can do that. She got several options. France trying to get in. Yes, France trying to get in. Now put that up. Put that up for this. No. Yeah, that's France. Put that back. Since Lava mentioned it, put that back. France Macron demands invitation for BRICS. Anyway, so they want gold backing everything. Okay, now give me the next thing.
Oh, that was a new one. Thank you, General Netanyahu. France, Macron, this is the head of France, demands invitation for BRICS. In other words, France, one of the EU nations, one of the horns, want to get with the BRIC nations. And this is the head of South Africa. So what is that the fulfillment of? That's Daniel chapter 2, when it speaks about the feet of it, miry clay. So they're leaving. In order for them to get with the BRICS, they have to leave the EU. Great Britain already left the EU. Back in what year? Somebody help me out. What is it, 2018? Something like that. But they've been pushing it for years. So now you got another nation that's thinking about leaving the EU. If France becomes a BRIC nation, right? They no longer have membership in the EU, which represent the 10 horns.
Anyway, so they want gold backing everything. Okay, now give me the next thing. So how much is 1 ounce of gold right now? This was today. Gold prices per ounce is 1,000.
By the way, I said this before. When you go to a gold dealer and you want to buy gold, the first thing you ask the guy is, you can go on Google, you can type it in, gold spot or spot gold, spot for gold or spot for silver, and it'll tell you what the price of gold is. So as of today, I guess this is yesterday, 1,968, right? 1,968. About a month or two ago, it was at 2,000. It fluctuates. It should be, in my estimation, it should be closer to 3,000. In my estimation, it should be closer to 3,000, 3,500 maybe. And silver should be somewhere about 100, maybe $150. So when you say, well, I want to buy one gold eagle as opposed to a silver eagle, he's going to charge you this price plus a little extra. He may charge you maybe another $30, $40 extra, depending on where you go, right? Depending on where you go, because he's got to make his money. So you have this gold spot, which is the actual price of gold, but you say, let me buy this. He might say, well, that's going to be, $2,020. So what you mean $2,020 a spot? But they got to make their money. They got to make their money. The way they really make their money is if he had in the back gold that he purchased 10 years ago, and let's say $1,000, he got the gold sitting there. Now it's almost 2,000. So he makes an extra 1,000 plus he makes what's called above spot. Okay. And I taught this before. So let's come back.
A gram is $63.27. So now let's say you have $100 in the bank, and the system changes over to be backed by gold. Well, okay, the gram, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the smallest amounts. It's $63. So you got 1 gram. But what about the rest of your money? So they'll either go towards silver, I think silver's less, or if they don't use silver, if it's just strictly backed by gold, guess what happens to your money? It's gone. It's gone. You just get to $63.20.
You'd be stupid to do that. You would be stupid to do that. You would get the gram of first of all, you come in and buying a gram. Oh, that's like Pookie. What was the movie? Chris Rock. I think it was what was the goddamn movie where he went in there? He said, "How much is a order of ribs?" They said 5 ribs for $5, and he said, "Give me 1 rib." So you can't buy it like that. You can't say how much is a fries. $3 for fries is how much is for one fry. It doesn't work like that. Anybody that goes in the store talking about they want 1 gram of gold, the guy's an idiot. All right. But anyway, you would give them 63 and they would give you the change back in Federal Reserve notes, dollar bills. That's how we do it. Or you would buy silver. You would buy the rest of it in silver, which could probably, you're talking about 60, you got almost $40 left. You can buy almost 2 pieces of silver, almost, depending on the price. So if you're going in there, you give the guy $100, he gives you $63 worth of gold, you're a stupid ass. He's gonna say, when you gonna come back?
A lot of people scrambling saying take the money out of the banks. However, what they could do is say they'll only work with money that's in the bank. Anything outside of the bank, we're not going to deal with. They could do. America's the devil. I'm just saying various things they could do. I'm not saying it's 100% what they want to do. I'm saying these are possible.
So he's trying to explain the charagma, the mark of the beast, and he now knows it's talking about money. So he's talking about gold, he's talking about silver, he's talking about bricks. He's kind of seeing it. He's kind of coming to our side, but he doesn't want to admit it. He doesn't want to admit it. But the shakeup is going to come. The shakeup is going to come. That's another topic. The shakeup is going to come.
Because especially, it's going to make it a digital currency.
Did y'all hear that? Wait a minute. We go back to 2016, 2014, whatever. When did he ever say a digital currency? So now he's talking our language. He's talking your talk. They're talking your talk. It's not foolishness. Let's hear that again. Let's hear that again, because it's going to come back to bite him. As one of the brothers said, the elder bishop, whatever, record everything, because it could come back to bite you in the ass. So he's getting into the money thing. He talking about the money and the CBDC, the digital currencies. He's kind of seeing it. He's coming around our way. He's kind of seeing it, but he doesn't admit it. He's fighting this. He's fighting it, man. He's fighting. Stop fighting. Stop fighting, man.
Especially, it's going to make it a digital currency, not a chip putting in your head and in your hand.
Ultimate as it right. And you're right. At this point, when everything is digital, no more paper dollars, no more wallets. You pull out greenbacks, as they used to call it. Everything's gonna be digital. When you go to the bank, right? I had to go to the bank. I had to put my check in the ATM. I don't deal with no tellers. I go to the ATM. I put the check in. It gives me a receipt. It tells me how much I got in my checking, how much I got in my savings. Do you want to get cash out or put cash in? So on the deposit cash, so it says put cash or check in. So I put the check in. Sometimes you put cash in, right? You put the check in. It takes a picture of it. It asks you to confirm. You confirm it. Then it gives you a picture of the check, and then it gives you a receipt with a small picture of the check, and then it's all digital now. So I turned that check into digital money. So when I got to pay bills with my credit card, I got a what do you call it, a debit card / Visa card. If I'm at BJ's, for example, I go to the checkout, self checkout, which I always do, and it'll say no cash. You can't use cash. You can use this card, that card, Discovery. So I just pull out my bank card, or I have another card that what do you call it? Where you put the cash in there, you add it in there. You know, when you run out of it, in order for you to get more cash on that card, you got to go back to wherever you get it from, and I think it's through Western Union. You pay them X. You say I want 500 in there. It might cost you 500 plus $3 for the transaction. So you pay them the $3 extra, but the 500. That 500 turns into that prepaid card that you got, which is also Visa. All right. So that's digital. That's all digital. That's all digital. Most of the things that are paid for that come out of my account is all digital. I don't even see it coming, but I can go to the app and I can see Netflix. They took out $21. Cable, they took out whatever, $200. Whatever else. You went through tolls, you got an Easy Pass. You went through 5 tolls, which adds up to $23, and they'll deduct it. They'll deduct the money from it, and they'll reload your Easy Pass. So that's all digital. That's all digital. All right. So ultimately, in the final thing that's going to happen is they're going to put it in a chip, and all that digital money is going to go right into your chip. So now you don't need a card. You don't need a driver's license. Cop pull you over. You don't need a driver's license. You don't need a registration card. You don't need an insurance card. You just give him your hand. He takes out the scanner. His name is John Doe. He lives at such and such and so and so. He has no violations. His car is up to date insurance wise and everything. If you didn't pay the insurance, guess what? The cop's going to give you a ticket for not having insurance. He may or may not let you go. So ultimately, everything is going to go in your hand, and he sees it. General Ntanyalaga sees it, but he doesn't. He's afraid to admit it. You're afraid to admit, that you're wrong. Pride is a mother effer. So he's going to have to eventually deal with it when it actually comes to pass. So let's listen to some more. And forgive me, I'm in this thing for a while. I haven't even touched Daniel, but I'm gonna go into Daniel.
So now, get in your head and in your hand. Stop digital currency, not a chip putting in your head and in your hand.
Eventually, it will be a chip. You're right when you said digital, but eventually, it's going to be put into your chip. That's called biometrics. Look that up. Biometrics. So he says, stop with the foolishness, stop that. This is the indoctrination. He's indoctrinating these people with a lie. Remember what they taught you about Christopher Columbus, how good he was. Remember that, right? Remember how white Jesus Christ was. Remember Moses, the 10 Commandments. We were kids. We actually thought fucking Charlton Heston was fucking Moses. Oh shit, that's Moses. No, Moses is not a fucking pasty cracker.
So now, I'm gonna give you some examples of where in history did they force people to break God's law and made it legal. Give me Daniel 3.
Okay, so then come on now. Come on now. We're going on another level with this thing. Y'all hear this, GMS? Y'all hear this? So I guess certain time in history, certain kings in the past implemented the chip. Because I guarantee you, well, let's see. We will listen to some more. Perfect example. I guarantee you he's going to go to it. He's going to deal with Antiochus Epiphanes, where they couldn't circumcise a kid. They had to eat pork. They had to wear a hat. They had to. They could not call themselves a Jew, and so forth and so on. If you read Maccabees, First Maccabees, and also Second Maccabees, you go into the history, you'll get what I'm talking about. And that's what he's going to say. That's not talking about the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast doesn't come and then it goes, and then it comes again, then it goes. No, it's talking that no one in the past has received the mark of the beast. But if you go back 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, no one has received that beast mark. They're receiving it now. Sweden is a place that they're receiving it. That's what John saw. He saw people sit down and a doctor or a tattoo artist actually use a hypodermic type needle, which is a Karax in the Greek, and put a device in their right hand or the left hand. If it was in Sweden, it's left hand. Neuralink is the forehead. So let's listen to a little bit more.
I'm gonna show you example. What we read in Revelation 13 about you had to worship the image of the beast or suffer death, and you cannot buy or sell except you have that mark or the name of the beast, which is Babylon the Great. I'm going to show you that in history. I'm going to start with Babylon. I'm going to go, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. He waking up. Central bank digital currency. Central bank digital currency.
Go to it kind of quickly. Daniel 3, read verse 1.
Daniel chapter 3 and verse 1. Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors and the captains, the judges, the treasurers and counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors and captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
Let's jump over to verse 14 for time's sake.
Verse 14. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made, well. But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
Hey, put the image up. This ain't the actual image, but just on the screen. Go ahead.
If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy God, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
Now I want y'all to examine them. We're only reading about the three Hebrew boys. Remember, there was multitudes of Israelites. Some submitted, and some may have not. We're not reading about the ones that may have not submitted. They were burned up. What we're not reading about, we're just, the history is focused on these three and how Christ delivered them. Read.
Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach.
I'm going to try to get to the point.
Start at verse 10.
Daniel chapter 6 and verse 10. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his
Start
house.
at 7, because you got to know what the writing was made sin law, and they made God's law unlawful. You understand what I'm saying? That's what
Trying to equate Daniel with Revelation 13. That's what it's talking about. He's just gonna the decree. You gotta sin. You gotta become a mo. You gotta become this. Then you can't buy yourself. Hey, you know what? I'm finished with this. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me do this. You're doing a lot of fast talking with the images. Give me a second here. I don't want to stay this long on this. He's indoctrinating these people with lies. And see, you got leadership here, man. They don't say nothing. They're not questioning nothing. And that's not that's they're not true leadership. Call this filibustering. Everything that this man says. Well, what did the man say? He's my man right here. My man right here. I forget his name. He said in the I believe it was him. He said General Nathaniel God's spirit is in all of y'all spirit. So that means in other words, whatever this man thinks, you got to think. He's the big brain, so to speak. Check out the big brain on Brad. He's Brad. And none of them going to question it, man. And see, you got this is I think about Ayathan when I see him, but Asaph, he gets mad when we get on him. But why don't you consider what we're saying? You talking bad about this man? This is a great man. Well, this great man is indoctrinating you with lies. This is why he got to keep bringing it up, because people keep pulling to the side, asking about the charagma, because they're window shopping on our side.
Showing yourselves in the righteous order of what you're doing now. And look at the energy put into stopping us. We're being censored on YouTube. Watch groups are watching us and changing laws. Okay, they're mad if they see you wanting to honor the Sabbath and you don't want to deal with Christmas. Just think, this is something that the earth has never seen before. Deacon Abiel said something yesterday, and I meant to record it, because he said that you got Haman doing parodies on the Israelites as if it's something to really speak against. You think what I'm saying? Like,
Haman is vocab. We call him Haman too. Yeah, it's probably Haman. Anyway, you know what? That's it. That's it on that. I mean, I think that's ending. Yeah. Yeah, this is ending. This is the end of it right here. Then you're gonna have the commercials. But anyway, I mean, if you want to watch the rest of this video, feel free. All right. You can window shop over there. And if that spell gets over you, if you're bewitched by them, then you go right over. Don't even call us. Just go right over. Get you a purple t-shirt and just praise Christ. So anyway, let's do this. This is interesting. Interesting. Let's go to Daniel. Let's try to breeze through Daniel. Daniel 7. Okay. I mean, how many verses is that? 28 verses. It's a vision of the 4 beasts in the first year of Belshazzar. Now, Daniel's name was Belteshazzar, was Daniel's Babylonian name, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were under the Babylonian captivity, but they were given Babylonian names. It says in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream. Like I said, them prophets, they see something and they write it down. They didn't understand it, but we understand today. We're the prophets coming back and told us some of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea. And I believe that was this. Let's find out and do a little cheating right here. Let's see what they say about what the great sea is. Come on now. What the hell is going on? Okay, so let's go to the Cambridge. There you said, seeing, behold, four winds the heaven strove upon break forth, creating a great disturbance, strove, verse. All right, let's do it this way. This denotes those commotions in the world and troubles, state, empires, kingdoms, blah, 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 signifying the great monarchies. All they got to do is tell me what the sea is. Let me do this. I just want to see what they say. Sea. The Great Sea, general Mediterranean. So it says the Mediterranean. So if you go to a map, the Babylonian Empire is you can see the if you're in Iraq today is Babylon, ancient Babylon. You had, if he was looking towards the Mediterranean, the Euphrates and the Tigris was behind him. So that's what they're saying. Let me do this. Because the Euphrates is not a sea, it's a river. Okay, so now Mediterranean. The Great Sea, a name of the Mediterranean Sea. Stirred up appears, the sea refers to is naturally to be taken as the Mediterranean. So like I said, go to Bible map and you'll see old Bible map, you see the Mediterranean, you see the Euphrates. South of the Mediterranean, you got Egypt, you got Put, you got the Red Sea, you got the Euphrates. Then you got the Euphrates and the Tigris. So according to this information, Daniel's back would have to be to the Euphrates, right? It says, and four great beasts came from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings were plucked up, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart or mind was given to it. So let's look at that. I already know what it is. I just want to see what the commentators have to say concerning this. As a matter of fact, all I got to do is I want the fourth verse. Okay, so it says, give me a second. Daniel 7 verse 4. The first was like a lion that had eagle's wings. So let's go ahead and break it down. Okay. Let me do it this way. Let's put Babylon. Comes up 34 times. The first was like a lion, the Chaldee or Babylonian Empire. Babylonian Empire. Pulpit commentary. Look how many times Babylon is written there. Babylonian Empire. So I do this. So when a Christian come up and we say that that's talking about the no, it ain't talking about that. My pastor never. I said, look, man, we go to the top biblical scholars that you buy books from, and they say what we say. So we know that that's the Babylonian Empire, right? Okay, it says, and behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and that's the ultimately the Medo-Persian Empire. Go to the commentary and check it for yourself. And after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. So let's check this one out. I already know what it says, what it means, but I'm going to see what the commentaries say. Let me see here. Bear me for a minute. Okay, good. Benson commentary, Daniel 7 and 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard. This third kingdom is that of the Macedonians or Grecians, who under the command of Alexander the Great overcame the Persians, or the Persians and the Medes, and reigned next after them, and it reigned next after them, and it is fitly compared to a leopard upon several accounts. So I'm going to read no more. And after this, I saw night vision, behold, the 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, strong exceedingly. Let's see what that means. But like I said, if you tell a dumbass, a monkey-minded Christian, like if you tell vocab, no, that's not, you going off. It don't mean that. It doesn't mean that. Well, going by your top scholars, man. A 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, right? Let's see what they say. Let's do it this way. Okay, here it is, Benson. Thank you, Benson, commentary. Daniel 7 and 7, behold, the 4th beast. The 4th beast can be no other than the what? The Roman Empire. We don't got to read no more. We don't got to read no more. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up them another little horn. Now they'll say, now you look that up, they'll say it's Antiochus Epiphanes, not Antiochus Epiphanes, even though he's known as the little horn in Daniel the 8th chapter. It's not the little horn. The little horn is talking about America, because America started with 13 colonies, and it was moved, and it went west. It went out west. There's a doctrine called the Monroe Doctrine. Look that up. There was another doctrine or saying, what is it called? A manifest destiny. Look that up. So it started off small because it was a colony of Great Britain. Then it ventured out. So it started off small and became great. Why did it become great? Because of the fulfillment of prophecy. And they're not going to tell you that it's talking about America. The Ancient of Days did sit. That's talking about this is getting ready to happen. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and Ancient of Days did sit. That's the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, whose garment was white as snow. So Daniel saw him sitting on the actual throne. That's what he saw, a throne. It was an image, a vision. And he wore a white garment. And his hair, he saw his little hair of his head like the pure wool. Who has pure wool? Who has pure wool? So-called black people, Israelites. So we know that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, the Supreme, is not a so-called white man. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. That signifies a UFO. Remember, this is an image now. This is a vision. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him, and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. Those are the angels and the saints. The judgment was set and the books are open. So now you got to jump to Revelation 20, Revelation 19, the various books in Revelation 17, where it speaks about the destruction. Daniel seeing the same thing that John on the Isle of Patmos saw. John the Revelator, John the Apostle. So from the 9th verse, this is yet to happen. This is yet to happen. So is Daniel chapter 7 fulfilled? Nope. Daniel chapter 8, is it fulfilled? Yes. If anybody tell you that Daniel 8 is talking about the Antichrist, they don't understand the scriptures. If they say Daniel 11 is talking about the Antichrist and this and the beast, and it's coming, and we're going to blah, 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 they don't know the scriptures. Now, if they tell you what I just told you from the 1st verse down to the 8th verse, they would have to say all that took place, came to pass. They would have to tell you that this has not come to pass. Now, scholars will tell you that it's talking about Antiochus and the period of Maccabees. They ain't talking about. This is getting ready to happen. This is yet to happen. And a fiery stream issued and came forth from before thousands in the book, and the books are open. Isn't that in Revelation? I believe that's Revelation 20. I beheld that, then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld the horn, the little horn is America, even till the beast was slain. Because what part of the beast is going to be slain? The U.S., which started off as a little horn, and his body destroyed, and that's the lake of fire. That's what John saw. The angel took him up into the heavens and made him look down from space, if you will, at America being on fire. And he said, I see a lake of fire, a lake on fire. That lake of fire is not eternal damnation. That lake of fire is the U.S. on fire, completely on fire, from the missiles and the lasers from the chariots of the angels, and our Lord, of course. That's 2nd Ezra 13, start from the 1st verse. And given to the burning flame. What's the burning flame? Matthew, in the book of Matthew, the 13th chapter, 38th verse tells you that. Bind them in bundles and cast them in the thing it says oven, the furnace. That's parabolic talk for the destruction. As concerning the rest of the beasts, the other nations, they had their dominion, their power, their rulership taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season of time. Meaning these other nations, the Persians are still here. You know, the Medes are still here. The Babylonians are still here, which are the Assyrians. The Greeks are still here, which are Edomites, but you got Jake mingled among those Edomites. The Son of Man presented. I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man, that's Yahushua. A man came with the cloud of heaven. What did the two men in white, the angels, told the apostles? Why gaze ye up, standing, looking up gaze ye up into heaven, the same way your Lord was taken up, he's going to come back, because they saw him go up in the cloud. So here's the cloud again. What does a cloud signify? A gigantic UFO. And came to the Ancient of Days, which is the Father, the Son coming to the Father, and they brought him near before him. And it was given him dominion, rulership. Are we going to have rulership? Yes. We're going to be joint heirs with Yahushua. Romans 8:16. The things that I do, you shall do in greater. And our Lord did so many things in his lifetime that if it was written in the book, written down, the world could not hold it. So he did a lot of miracles that is not recorded in the scriptures. And his mother knew when he was a child, she witnessed him do miracles. Like there's a story, I don't know how true this is, but in the history, they said that there was a story of Yahushua. He would take sand or sand or mud, and he would form it into a bird, and he would blow in it, and it would turn to an actual dove and fly away. That's not in the scriptures, that's in the history. But it's obvious that his mother witnessed him perform the miracles. That's why she said, look, turn this water into wine. Because she already knew he had spiritual, he was a special child, a gifted child. There's some kids, look this up. I'll look it up afterwards myself. And I believe they're called indigo children. And indigo children have special powers. So you gotta go into that. I don't know that much about it. I remember Dick Gregory speaking about it, and I heard it before. Indigo children. Like that's what the whole X-Men is all about. They had a school that they had to learn how to hone their power. Those would be considered indigo children. It says, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, which is the current kingdom. This kingdom shall be destroyed. The next kingdom will come, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed. And that's his kingdom is our kingdom. We are joint heirs with him. So we're going to be ruling under him. The vision interpreted, 15th verse, and I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit and in the midst of my body, and the vision of my head troubled me. He didn't know what the hell was all this about. I came near unto one of them that stood by, which was an angel, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the thing. So obviously that was an angel. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take, this is getting ready to happen. This could be happening within months. You hear me? Within months. But the saints of the Most High, which are the Israelites, vocab Malone, aka Haman. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. Take whose kingdom? Esau's kingdom. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. That's why do you think they got these Edomites say, oh, the Edom, there's no such thing as Edomites. They're done away with. They were destroyed and possessed. So what the hell are you doing here? And possess the kingdom for what? Forever, even forever and forever, meaning a unlimited kingdom, a finite, infinite kingdom, infinite. In meaning not, and finite meaning finished. There's no end to it. Like certain movies, like with Germany and stuff, they'll say fin, which means end. Finite, finish. There's no finish to this kingdom. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which is the pagan Roman Empire of 2,000 years ago, and this system today, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and his nails of brass, which that was the weapons that they used. All those nations use iron and brass and so forth, but the Romans use it way more than them. And they had legions. Look up the word legions. Those were not quite 7,000 men. I believe it was something like 600, 700 horsemen, and the rest of the men were foot soldiers, and that's what you call a legion. a legion, and his nails of brass, which devour, break in pieces, and stamp the residue with the feet, meaning they set up provinces. So we were one of the provinces under the Roman Empire. And what was different between the Roman Empire and the empires before that, the Roman Empire didn't put us in slavery, they taxed us. That's what they did. They said, you can have your religion, you can call on your God, you can have your high holy days, you can do what you want to do, you can have your order, you can have your marriages and do whatever the hell you want to do, but just pay me, man. Like Paulie, F you, man, pay me. And of the 10 horns that were in the head, that currently that's talking about the EU nations, and you got the NATO nations, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell. The 3 that fell go back into the history: the French, the British, Great Britain, the UK, and the Spaniards. Even of that horn that had eyes, which is America, and a mouth that spake very great things. We're going to go to the moon. We're going to do this. A lot of things came out of America, whose look was more stout than his fellows, the other European nations. That's why they hate America. That's why ultimately they're going to shoot missiles on America. Revelation 17 and 12. I beheld in the same horn made war with the saints. What did that mean? When they came over to the Americas, what did they do? They ultimately attacked Gad, Reuben, the Israelites of Central and South America, and the Spaniards that went down there, all those Spanish so-called nations speak Spanish and are Roman Catholic. Why? Because it was the Spaniards that took them over. The religion of the Spaniards was Roman Catholicism. The religion of the British was a form of Christianity. You had the Baptists, the Methodists, and so forth. That's why the people in America spoke English. The slaves spoke English. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days, the Father, came, and judgment was given to the saints, the Israelites. So the Most High is raising up this army. Esau is scared now of the Most High, the Father, Yahweh, the Supreme, and the time came that the saints possess the kingdom. And this is months away, y'all. This is months away. This is months away. What's got to happen is the Charagma has to be introduced to the world, and the majority of the people in the world are going to actually get chipped, and then everything going to move quick. So when that happens, we wish Esau stopped dragging his damn feet and go ahead and do it. When that happens, we're going to be happy. Even though some of us are going to be killed and locked up in prisons, we're going to be happy, because guess what? That's when the clock start ticking. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms and shall devour the whole earth. The whole earth. The Roman Empire did not devour the whole earth. This kingdom, this empire, the beast, has control over the whole earth. And I can give you so many examples of that. And shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Now also the whole earth, let's do this, because it uses the term the whole earth. Let me do this, and I'll come back. What verse am I in? Okay, I'm in the 23rd verse. Come on now. Okay, 75 times. Wow. Bear me for a minute. There goes. The whole earth is at rest. Sometimes the term the whole earth is not talking about the entire earth. Okay, how is the hammer the whole earth that's talking about now? Because the ancient Babylonians did not have power over the whole earth. Whole earth is talking about the kingdom. Our kingdom is going to be going to rule the whole earth. But in reference to the whole earth, you had kingdoms that it said they had the rule of the whole earth, the whole world, but they didn't have the whole entire world. There was a second part of the fourth beast that had power over the whole world. So I had to go, I had to go into that. Provinces, breaking pieces, meaning provinces or states. And we almost finished. And the 10 horns out of the kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise with them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. That's America. And like I said, scholars will tell you that's Antiochus Epiphanes. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, blasphemy. In Revelation 17 and 5, the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, put us in slavery, mess us up, kill us, and think to change times and laws. And that's what they did in many ways. And they shall be given into his hand until the times, and the dividing of time. And that represents from us coming over here, the bulk of the slaves coming over here to about 1970. That's when they started going down, 1970. They pulled back from the Vietnam conflict. The Vietnam is now communist. It said, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end. We're coming to the end. But like I said, the major prophecy that has to take place before this end comes is when the microchip comes, which is an actual grain of rice, looks the size of a grain of rice, is going to go on your right hand or your forehead or your left hand. And the kingdom and the dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole earth, because we're going to rule the whole earth, shall be given to the people of the saints. It says in Daniel 2, I believe it's 40, it says, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, meaning not be left to other nations. So that kills that replacement theology and successionism. The people that's going to rule in the coming kingdom are the national Israel. Shall be given to the people of the saints. The saints are Israel. That's also in Isaiah. What is that? Isaiah 1. I'm sorry, Psalms 147, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's 13, 14 of the Most High, whose kingdom is a what? An everlasting kingdom, and dominion shall and all dominions shall serve and obey him through us, because we're going to make them keep the laws. Hereafter is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my cogitations much trouble me. I'm gonna look that word up. And my countenance changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart. Like he was all messed up. Let's look up the word cogitations. Let's see what that means, and then I'm gonna close. And the word in the Hebrew is raya. Raya na Raya one. Raya one. Thought. The word there is thought. Like he was like, what does this all mean? What is this all about? Even when the angel tried to explain it to him. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.